Right off the top about a new development in the investigation, a new list that CNN has obtained of the 18 suspects that government officials believed are responsible and were on board those 4 planes that were hijacked and crashed on Tuesday. Our Mike Betcher is following the latest on the investigation. Can go with us and take a look at the list and tell us what kind of information we can glean from that. Mike.
Well, this list was obtained and compiled by federal law enforcement sources. It is a list of the suspected terrorists who died on board those 4 aircrafts. The spellings on the list we will show you now are as they appear on federal documents and may vary from other spellings being used. On American Airlines Flight 11 from Boston to Los Angeles that hit the second World Trade Center tower, Wael al-Shehri, a.k.a. Waleed al-Shehri. Mohammed Atta, we'll talk about him more in just a minute. Abdul al-Amari, Satam Sugami. Next, to United Airlines Flight 175 from Boston to Los Angeles. It hit the South Tower of the World Trade Center. Marwan al-Shehi, Fayez Ahmad, Mohad al-Shehi, Hamza al-Ghamdi, Ahmed al-Ghamdi. On United Airlines Flight 93 from Newark to San Francisco, that is the plane that crashed in Pennsylvania. Ahmed al-Haznawi, Ahmed al-Nami, Ziad Jarrah, Saeed al-Ghamdi. On American Airlines Flight 77 from Dulles to Los Angeles, that is the aircraft that struck the Pentagon. Khalid al-Midar, Mahed Moked, Narwaf al-Hazmi, Salem al-Hazmi. Now let's go back now to one of the people on board American Airlines Flight 11 that hit the second World Trade Center tower. He is Mohammed Atta. We have some information on him, perhaps more than any of the rest of these people. Let's look at his travels over the past couple of years. He was in Hamburg, Germany in the 1990s, where he studied and got the equivalent of a master's in construction engineering. And then in July 2000 approximately, he showed up in Venice, Florida at a flight training school, Huffman Aviation, where he and another one of the people on the list of 18, Marwan al-Shehi, attained some initial flight training. They stayed with a man named Mr. Voss, who was their flight instructor. They didn't get along very well, apparently, with these 2 people in their house, and they asked him to leave. He then moved into a home in Coral Springs, Florida, rather an apartment. That was in December of 2000. And then also in December of 2000, he went to a company in Opelika, Florida, called Flight Sim. Now at this company, Atta and 2 other men who we don't have the identities of walked up and said, we want to buy 727 simulator time. That's about $1,500 worth of time. The instructor said okay. They paid in cash, and he said they were very interested in straight and level flight and how to make turns, but weren't very interested in takeoffs and landings. He thought that was very odd. And now, even though Mohammed Atta carries a United Arab Emirates passport, this man said he talked an awful lot about Egypt. From there, in August of 2001, we pick up the trail again in Pompano Beach, Florida, at Warwick Rental Car, where he rented 2 cars in succession over the period of about a month. The last car he rented, over a period of 2 weeks, he drove about 3,000 miles. So he was traveling an awful lot there in the last part of August and the 1st of September. Then he moves to Palm Beach County, Florida, where he took 2 refresher flights in a Piper aircraft. He said he wanted to refresh his skills, and he took only 3 flights, although initially he said he wanted to take 100 hours. And then he ended up in Portland, Maine. Right before Portland, Maine, though, he went to Boston, Massachusetts, rented a car from the Alamo car rental agency there, then drove to Portland, Maine, and then caught a connecting flight on Tuesday morning from Portland to Boston. And of course, we know what happened next. We're trying to develop the same information on the rest of the people on this list, but Mohammed Atta is one of the people that we know the most about, and it gives you an idea of the amount of preparation, the amount of money that was spent, and the fact is that this wasn't planned in a weekend. This was planned over a long period of time.
Fascinating stuff, how you're connecting the dots there, Mike. Thank you for that information. We'll check back with you. Also, for our viewers, if you'd like to see more of that information for yourself, the complete list and that information is on our website at CNN.com. Leon.